Why, hello there, everyone. As you might already know, Nintendo has announced that the next character reveal for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate will be the last and final character addition to the game. And I normally refrain from doing these sorts of speculation type videos, but considering this is going to be the last one ever, it sort of makes it more exciting, and I didn't want to miss the one last opportunity to do this. And joining me today is Face Guy, fellow Twitch streamer and YouTuber.
My name's Face Guy, as you've already heard. And I mostly play Smash on my channel.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here because I have literally not touched the game since Piranha Plant got added. Even though,
that's been a while.
My best performing video is a Smash Bros video, so I'm always worried that people find my channel through that video, and then they come into the channel and they're like, whoa, this guy's a poser. He reacts to the Smash reveals but doesn't even play the game anymore. You got that right. I'm not putting up with that netcode. It's partially...
it's awful.
It's made even worse by the fact that the Switch doesn't even have a built-in Ethernet port, so I can't even yell at my opponents for being Wi-Fi warriors, because I can't blame them, because I'm not buying an extra extension for an Ethernet cord on a console I rarely play online anyway. So yeah, I'm glad you're here, so that way we can have someone that actually has been playing the game lately, and I will include the links to his Twitch channel and his YouTube channel and the like in the description if anybody wants to find him through there. So... first of all, I have a list here. I don't know if you made a list or not, but I assume
I got a list.
Yeah, I assume you have at least a mental list, right? Because you have ideas. So I think firstly the predictions I want to talk about. I think firstly we should go through the things that it definitely won't be.
Oh, definitely won't be?
Or just the things that we think it won't be. So
okay.
I have it separated by things that I don't think will be in there. And then I have some worst case scenario I have a worst case scenario category, and then I have things that I think it actually might be. So then I'll go through the things that I think it won't be, and then when I'm done with that part of my list, you can do the things you think it won't be, and then I'll get to my worst case scenario, and then you'll say your worst case scenario, like that.
Yeah.
I just want to reiterate, literally, I'm not trying to overhype this or get people to have unrealistic expectations, because no matter what this character is, no matter what the character edition is, some people will be disappointed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's always the
guaranteed.
case. Yeah. So, despite that, I still think this holds a lot of significance, especially just in the video game industry as a whole, right? Because this game, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this game is the largest brand crossover of anything to have ever existed, right?
I believe it is, and I think it even passed up, I think it was Street Fighter 2, which held the most amount of fighting game sales ever, and I think Smash Ultimate just passed that recently.
I wasn't even thinking about sales. I was just thinking about, how Sakurai, because of all of his connections and friendships to other people in the industry, how he was able to get all of these different companies to collaborate with each other.
Oh, yeah. Sakurai has worked so hard for this. It's insane.
I know he always keeps saying oh, I'm going to retire, but then he comes back and makes something. But he's going to eventually stop, right? And he seemed pretty serious. He didn't say he was going to stop making games, right? Because I actually think he wants to go back and make more Kid Icarus games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he seemed pretty serious about this being the last character addition to Smash Ultimate. And the thing is, I don't think it's likely that we're ever going to ever get a game again that has this amount of crossovers, right? There will be another Smash Bros. Game. Whatever kind of contracts they have with these companies to do these crossovers, to do these character additions, I don't know if they're going to still be able to keep all these characters if they decide to port the game later, whenever we get Nintendo's next console. It'll either be a port of this game, which might not have all the characters, or it'll be a new Smash Bros. Games, and it'll be a new Smash Bros. Game, but how do you top this roster, right? You can't.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is the peak of... I think this is a peak of not only Smash Bros. Career, the franchise's career in general, but also just a peak of brand collaborations. I know Fortnite, Fart Frick, is kind of close, right? That's the only other thing I could say that's comparable in terms of getting companies to collab with each other, because I think Fortnite's the only game that has Marvel and DC together.
Oh, they have DC. Oh, they also got Street Fighter characters.
Yeah, Ryu with a gun is I'm never going to get used to that.
I saw pictures of it and I was like, this isn't real.
What?
But no,
the part
it's real.
the part that really got me shook about that is not the fact that Chun-Li and Ryu are in Fortnite, but the fact that they got Shinkiro to do promotional art for it, and they got Shinkiro to draw Banana Man.
Seriously?
Yeah, there's the promotional key art for the Street Fighter Cross Fortnite collaboration. Shinkiro, you've probably seen that like cursed image of Ryu smiling.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's where it came from. The thing is, like, Shinkiro probably has like so many like better things he could be doing, and I'm sure it was probably fun for him to draw the banana guy, though, right? But
yeah.
It's just like the amount of if you think about Fortnite's general audience, and it's just a bunch of we like Fortnite kids. I doubt a single one of them even knows or cares who Shinkiro is. So when they see the Shinkiro art, they're going to be like, "Whoa, that's the artist that worked at SNK but now works at Capcom and did the key art for Tatsunoko versus Capcom on the Wii." No kid is going to appreciate that fully. You know what I mean? I just want Shinkiro's art to be appreciated.
They don't care. They probably had to look up who the Street Fighter characters were.
Yeah, so like
Ryu who?
I honestly think that was because of that. It was more a case of just who you know, because I forgot the guy's name, but somebody that used to work at Capcom now works at Epic Games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's very likely that it was just like because somebody was friends with the right person,
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, what was I talking about? Like, are we going to talk about the actual
the actual topic of the video?
Okay, yeah. The part that everyone skipped to? Okay, guys, now that you listened to everything we've said so far and definitely didn't skip anything, we're going to start with who I think won't be in there. So, in the last Smash live stream, they did probably the most brutal sizzle reels of Mii costumes, right? Like, there was Dante, there was Travis Touchdown, Shantae, Dragonborn, right?
Yep.
Am I missing any?
I think that's it.
So I think one of the first things we can say is that even if have they ever added a character that already had a Mii costume?
No, they have added like characters from like a lot of people thought Tekken was
yeah, but
there wouldn't be a Tekken
that was a
because of Heihachi.
Yeah, that was a Heihachi Mii costume. Okay, so a Mii costume does not it does not eliminate the chances of a character from that franchise, but it does axe the chances of that character in particular. So like Dante's not going to be a character, but it doesn't necessarily eliminate the chances of a Devil May Cry character. I think
get Nero. Woo!
Yeah, like, but even so, like, literally, if you were going to do a DMC character, it would have to be Dante. So I don't think it'll be anything from Devil May Cry. If you were going to do No More Heroes, it would be Travis Touchdown, so it can't be that. If it were going to be Shantae, it would be Shantae, right? So it's not going to be her.
Yeah.
Second of which, this one will probably get more people sad. I don't think they're going to break their rule of not promoting assist trophies to characters, and so this really just means I don't think it'll be Waluigi.
No, it won't be Shovel Knight or Waluigi.
Yeah, like as funny as it would be to have like a reveal trailer of Waluigi like breaking out of an assist trophy, and then them having to like update the game by getting rid of the assist trophy. The update to the game would have to remove content.
Oh my god,
that would be really funny as the last thing, right?
I'd be for it. I'd love that.
I would love it too, but I don't think they would like decide to just break that rule and remove content from the game.
No.
Another thing that I think it won't be is I don't think it'll be any kind of fighting game character, right? Because literally they just announced Kazuya, so they wouldn't do 2 fighting game characters in a row. It's already weird It's already weird that we got this many fighting game characters because before Ryu was even announced, Sakurai said that he wouldn't like to add fighting game characters because it's too easy to make a moveset for them, right? Because they already exist in a fighting game, so you pretty much just copy-paste their moveset. He said before that he prefers making movesets for characters that don't exist already in fighting games because you can add more creativity to it, right? Like Piranha Plant, for example.
Yeah.
I would have personally preferred a Soul Calibur character like Nightmare over Kazuya, just because I think that would have been more exciting and on brand with like the other Smash Bros characters. But I can definitely understand why they went for Kazuya just because Tekken is so much more popular, right? That's just a side note, though. Another character I think it won't be is Sora. What do you think about that before I explain my reasoning?
So I think it could be Sora. I just really hope it isn't, because I can't see playing against him or playing as him being any fun at all. I just hope it's not him. That's my main stance.
I think I would be down for it, but I don't think there's any chance of it happening, and that's one big reason, and that's Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think you could have Sora without, like, Donald and Goofy at least showing up in his final Smash.
Yeah, and Disney doesn't want to let go of any other property ever.
The thing is, though, I don't know exactly how much autonomy Square Enix has with that, because I know Square Enix owns Sora. But Disney owns the characters that surround him. So it's a very unique and complex legal situation. The thing is, though, when I've brought this up before, people said, like, oh, you could just have Sora, but without Donald or Goofy in the final Smash. I don't think Sakurai would want to adapt a character if he weren't able to do it all the way, because Sakurai always, like, pays maximum homage to the source material, you know?
Oh yeah, you're taking away like part of the character's like personality and entourage.
I mean, and not only that, but like his Keyblade literally has like a Mickey Mouse silhouette keychain on it, so you'd have to take that off too.
I didn't even know that. Yeah.
The next thing I think it won't be. I see a lot of people expecting this, and I don't know where they got this idea, but a lot of people seem to be expecting this one for some reason, and that's a Mortal Kombat character.
I think there's no chance of that, simply because, like you said, it's not going to be another fighting game character.
That too. Even if we didn't,
they're too violent.
Even if we didn't just get Tekken. So I don't want to straw man anyone. So lots of times when people make the argument saying, oh, you know, their franchise is too violent, people say, oh, well, Bayonetta got in, and she's from a rated M game, and also like, oh, you don't need to do Scorpion because he would be so violent. You could do Sub-Zero, and he could just freeze people, and that wouldn't be as violent. I still think that's far-fetched because Mortal Kombat has virtually zero presence in Japan. But again,
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's because Japan's censorship is a bit more strict on violence. It's funny. It's like the inverse of the West, because the West loves violence but hates nudity, right?
But they love nudity and hate violence.
Yeah, it's the inverse over there.
Huh.
So Mortal Kombat barely has any kind of presence over there at all. But again, I don't want to straw man, because Banjo-Kazooie barely has any presence in Japan, but they still did that.
Yeah.
I still think that was a unique case, though, because Nintendo has, you know, a close relationship with Rare, or, you know, a history with Rare.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's... Yeah, I agree that, like, any one of these reasons against this isn't strong enough, but everything added together, like, it's too violent. You'd have to go for Sub-Zero instead of Scorpion. It has, like, zero relevance in Japan. I just think there's no way, right? Even if Kazuya weren't the last character revealed.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like if you're going to put a Mortal Kombat character and you'd have to give him a fatality. And
yeah. They have stabbed Mario. Sephiroth has killed Mario on one of those reveal trailers before, though. I think Raiden would actually make more sense than Sub-Zero.
Raiden actually might work. I could see Raiden.
Yeah, because, like, the lightning, you could do the lightning, and there's not really any kind of character on the roster that uses lightning at all, right?
There's, like, some that's, like, a little bit, but it's not, like, their main...
Yeah, Robin, like, with Robin, like, is the lightning spell, but that's not, like, the main thing.
Yeah.
Another thing I don't think will be in there is Doom Guy. Again, just way too violent, like...
Yeah.
Like, his fatality would have to be the chainsaw, or his final smash would have to be the chainsaw, right?
Or BFG.
BFG would be better, I guess. He would just be Shoot Guy, though. Like, what would his power be? Oh, he shoots gun.
Well, I actually had, like, a little bit of thought about this. Like, so, like, Halo Master Chief
that was going to be my next character I don't think's getting in.
They're interchangeable, though.
Doom Guy's way cooler than Master Chief.
He is. I agree with that. I've played so much more Doom than I have of Halo, but like in terms of movesets you can make for him, you could slap the same moveset on Master Chief.
And the thing is, the most recent Halo, they adopted the grapple hook thing from Doom Eternal. So yeah, that actually is strangely synonymous. That would be funny if it's just they're echo fighters of each other, and now it's 2 and 1.
That'd be sick. I'd be down with it.
This might be like a weird reason to not expect a character either, though. The thing is, though, Doom Guy, he doesn't even really have a name. So I can't imagine the announcer saying Doom Guy. They would probably go with Slayer, though, because in the in the Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal continuity, they refer to him as Slayer.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would make more sense. But still, I think calling a character Slayer is a bit too impersonal.
Hey, Guilty Gear did it, and people love Slayer.
But I mean, like, in terms of Smash Bros. And hearing the announcer say a character's name, the most impersonal we've gotten probably is Duck Hunt. Because that character
there's Duck Hunt.
The thing is, that dog
there's
and
also Wii Fit.
Yeah, the thing is, the dog and the duck don't have a name, right? But it's not just the dog or the duck. It's the whole game as a character, because it's the dog, the duck, and the player, because you can, like, shoot at the screen. I guess Wii Fit would be another instance, because it's a character that doesn't have a name. So yeah, I know that's not a really strong point, but I think that is still a point, nonetheless. Hearing the announcer say, Slayer, I can't imagine it. Any other things you want to add to the list of things that probably to most definitely will not get added before I get to my worst case scenario?
So, like, there's things I want that I know are never going to be added.
Yeah, yeah, say them now, because this is I'm organizing this by, like, likelihood, not necessarily what we want. Yeah,
like a Guilty Gear character. Not gonna happen. We just got a fighting game character.
Soul would be pretty cool, but yeah, we just got a fighting game character.
Soul would be cool, and as much as my heart would love Potemkin to have a fat, stupid grappler, never happening.
A grappler is never going to rep their respective fighting game, and I say this as a grappler main, so I feel
I'm
the pain.
a grappler main too. I just want a fat grappler. It's never gonna happen.
They will never rep for their game.
No.
It kind of makes sense, though, because the whole point of a grappler is that they're supposed to be anti-meta. And so, like, if you're going to represent a game, you're going to pick a very meta character, you know, being the Shoto of a game. Oh boy, I said the word. I didn't mean to do that.
You just angered so many people. How could you?
I didn't think that was a controversial thing until Smash fans started arguing about it.
I didn't think it'd be just I don't know. Smash people are stupid. Yeah. As someone who spends time in that fan base, we're all idiots.
I forgot to warn you. We do a lot of making fun of Smash fans here.
Oh no, I'm part of it.
Yeah. So worst case scenarios, obviously Pokemon or Fire Emblem character, right? That is totally possible, and that would be the worst case scenario, in my opinion.
Yeah, if they end it on another Fire Emblem character, I think they're gonna lose. Just people are gonna be angry. People are angry when Violet got announced, and it's gonna be that again.
Because I don't think they've had it. They don't have a Pokemon from the current gen in Smash. I think worse than either of those, though, would be. Can you guess what I'm going to say? A particular funny, recognizable, minion-esque mascot from Ubisoft.
Oh, Rabbids? Oh, no, please don't put in Rabbids.
That would be the worst case scenario, because Nintendo does have a pretty close relationship with Ubisoft, because they're making not one Mario and Rabbids collab, but yet another. And if they let Mario hang out with Rabbids, then Mario is Nintendo's baby. It's like their daughter, and they're letting Mario run off and date Rabbids. If that's allowable, then I could totally see Rabbids getting put in the game. So
yeah,
part of me is glad that this is going to be the last character announcement, because assuming this isn't Rabbids, it means that there will never be a chance for Rabbids to get added again.
Yeah,
like quit while you're ahead.
if it's, I don't know. I can see an argument for Rayman, but if they put in Rabbids, then that's just such a weird choice.
Yeah, I think Rayman actually does have a chance, and I think that would be good. So that would be a good segue into the things that I would consider. That would segue into the list of characters I have that I do think are possible. Do you have a different worst case scenario, or would you agree with the Rabbids Fire Emblem Pokemon thing?
I think Fire Emblem Rabbids Pokemon, yeah, that's pretty agreeable. And mainly, I just don't know who they'd add from the new Pokemon game. Also, like maybe one of the legendaries, or maybe a starter. But
I like to think that they are in touch enough that they wouldn't do Pokemon or Fire Emblem for the last one, because Sakurai said that this next announcement would be like a while from now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the only reason they would do that is if they wanted to save it for like the Game Awards or something, meaning they want a big stage for it. Meaning that they know that it's like a crowd pleaser type thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say right now though.
Yeah.
Like, what if it's just disappointing? Like they just go for some like, what if it's like Koopa Troopa or like Goomba?
Yeah, like I think it's actually a very high likelihood it'll be a first party character for their last one, right? Because if they're wanting to wrap it up, it is their game.
Gonna cap it off. Nice Mario stuff.
If they were to do like a random Mario enemy though, like what would they do now that they did Piranha Plant? Like
I think Piranha Plant's taking up random enemy slot. What are they gonna add? Like the Koopa? Well, they already got Koopalings. Never mind. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
The Pokies, the big like tall guys,
the cactuses, cacti.
Yeah. No, that's an enemy I'd fight.
That sounds more like a stage hazard.
What if they had Paper Mario?
Paper Mario would be cool. Unfortunately,
he's got hammers.
I don't know if Nintendo cares enough about Paper Mario.
They don't.
I remember hoping for and speculating a Paper Mario moveset, like during the Wii U Smash Bros. Yeah, that would be really cool because Paper Mario really is a separate character from regular Mario.
Oh yeah, he's entirely different.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, the hammer and everything.
Yeah.
Since we're on the topic of first party characters that we think might get in, I know this is unlikely, but I kind of just want to throw this out there. A lot of people probably don't know this because not many people played the Kid Icarus Uprising game. You know, the Kid Icarus game on 3DS. Sakurai made that game though. Sakurai made that game. It's super good. It's so underrated. Barely anyone played it just because a lot of the reviews were complaining about the control scheme because game journalists didn't like holding the 3DS with one hand.
Oh.
Because you hold it with one hand and you use the stylus to aim. And so
that's not too bad.
The launch version came with this stand that you can put it on if you're playing it on like a table or something. It wasn't bad at all. The control scheme was actually really fun, and it made like the multiplayer actually really competitive, right? Because you had like really precise aiming and stuff.
I remember.
What were you saying?
There's a Smash player who actually like won like a pro Kid Icarus Uprising tournament or something like that.
That game's so good. Like I'm hoping Sakurai like makes another Kid Icarus game after Smash Bros. But the antagonist in it, Hades, I think that would be actually a great final character because one, they made it pretty obvious since the announcement of Ridley and now even the addition of Sephiroth that they're trying to add more villain characters to the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So not only would Hades be a villain character, but it would also be a first-party character because this is Hades as he's depicted in Kid Icarus Uprising. Not only that, but Kid Icarus Uprising is one of Sakurai's games, and Sakurai did all of this. Like, he's the one that made all of this possible. So I feel like as the last character, he kind of has the right to basically make one of his OCs, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's basically Sakurai's OC, like his OC take on Hades. He could throw it in, and Hades is so funny. Like, did you play the game?
I haven't, but I'm looking at pictures of him right now, and this guy looks sick.
Yeah, so he's such a hammy villain. There is literally... Okay, so you beat Medusa thinking that it's the final boss, and the credits start rolling. And as the credits are rolling, Hades is having this dialogue with you, taunting you, and he literally rips through the credits. And then there's like a whole portion of the game still left to do. Like there's a fake out ending, and Hades is actually the final boss. So there are a lot of weird fourth wall breaks. Yeah, that's him. I'll put a picture on screen in the video so people can know what we're talking about. But yeah, that would be a crazy character design, and it would fit the villain archetype, right? And it would kind of be Sakurai, getting his dues basically. So I know it's unlikely, but I could see that happening, and I wanted to throw it out there because I don't hear anybody talking about that.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Actually, now looking at him,
yeah,
I'd be down for that.
And I don't think anybody would be disappointed with it either. Like, obviously, there will always be people disappointed with things, but I still think that would be a crowd pleaser because it would be unexpected. But then in hindsight, it would make sense. Like, I feel like the biggest Smash reveals are always the ones that are unexpected. Like, whoa, no way. But then once you think about it a bit more, you're like, oh, I guess that does make sense. Like Sephiroth. No one was predicting Sephiroth. But then after it happened, you think back and you're like, oh, yeah, I guess in hindsight, it does make sense. That would be the same with Hades. Like, oh, yeah, I mean, Sakurai did make Kid Icarus Uprising, even though no one's been talking about it. On the note of villains, I think Eggman would also be a really good one. Dr. Robotnik.
I hear that a lot, but I don't know what he'd do exactly, unless he was maybe in a mech from Sonic Adventure 2.
I think
or
Sonic
like
Adventure 2 would be the basis. I think you would have to do the Eggmobile with legs, right? Because if you did the floating one, you'd run into the danger of it being too similar to Bowser Jr.
Oh yeah.
The thing is though, you could use his design from Sonic Adventure 2, but his moves and stuff could draw from several different games. His contraptions and machines have so many different things that you could do for a moveset. So I don't think there's any shortage of moves you could use for a moveset for him. I also just think it's so strange that there's only one Sonic character.
Well, to be fair, Sonic characters Shadow, that's just a Sonic clone.
Well, he's already an assist trophy, right? So yeah, the thing is, if there is going to be another Sonic character, I don't think it would be Knuckles, I don't think it would be Tails, it would be Eggman, right? Especially, like I said, because this game is trying to add more villains. I think it's weird that Cloud and Sephiroth are in here, but not Sonic and Eggman, because Cloud and Sephiroth are supposed to represent Final Fantasy, but they're only from one specific Final Fantasy game. Both of them are from FF7. Sonic and Robotnik, however, are in pretty much every Sonic game, right? And they go way back. Sonic and Eggman were in the first Sonic game, obviously. So that has way more legacy, and it represents the whole franchise, not just one game in a franchise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just feel like it's weird that Sephiroth got added before Eggman. So I think those are the... Okay, so I already talked about the first... Oh, yeah. Okay, another first-party character. Actually, I don't know if this would be first-party. You can correct me. Dixie Kong. That's
first-party, isn't it? Well, no, it's Rare.
Rare created her.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Nintendo has the rights now. I might need to go check on that. I think Nintendo does have the rights, because I think Nintendo has the rights to Diddy Kong, despite Rare having created him.
I think they do.
Because I remember before, when Smash Ultimate was coming out, I remember saying something about how, I remember the topic coming up about how they would never add a Western-owned character, even though Diddy Kong and Dark Samus are created by Western companies. Diddy Kong was created by Rare, which is British, right? Yeah. And then Dark Samus was created by Retro Studios, which is Retro Studios is United States, right? Either way, it's Western.
I think so. I don't know where it is.
Either way, it's non-Japanese. It's Western, right? But I think Nintendo still has the rights over them, even though Nintendo didn't themselves create it. So that's why when Minecraft Steve got added, it kind of blew that quote rule out of the water, because Minecraft Steve is not created by a Japanese studio, nor is it owned by a Japanese studio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, it might have been Banjo that did that. Was Banjo first? Banjo was first.
Banjo was first.
Yeah. So Banjo was also created by Rare, but is owned by Microsoft, So, so that was the one that broke the rule. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, Dixie Kong.
First-party characters?
Dixie Kong. I don't think it would be Dixie Kong, but I felt like it was worth mentioning because a lot of people were speculating that before Smash Ultimate released, right?
Yeah.
If there were going to be another Donkey Kong character, do you think it should be a different one, or do you think Dixie Kong makes sense?
I think Dixie Kong would be cool, but I think Funky Kong would be great.
What would he do, though? He would have
I
the
don't know, but he's
surfboard.
funny. That's all that matters. He can be a joke
He
character.
would
I
have
don't care.
the surfboard, but like other than that, how would his moveset be different from Donkey Kong? Like
He'd be funky.
literally, if you play as Funky Kong in the Tropical Freeze port on Switch, the only difference is that he can like surfboard across spikes. So it's like an easy mode, but it's like a different speedrun category. Whereas in Donkey Kong Country 2, Dixie Kong like actually has a different moveset. But the thing is though, like even though I think Dixie Kong should get added, I feel like if that were going to happen, the time has passed because that's not like a final character addition worthy addition.
Yeah.
Even though I know a lot of people would like it. It's just that's not a crowd pleaser type character.
No.
Another first
What?
Sorry, what was that you were cutting out?
I was gonna say it's why, as much as I'd want it, I don't think it's gonna be Bandana D because
Yeah, I thought that was a joke at first. When people were wanting Bandana D before Smash Ult release, I thought it was a joke, and I was like, haha, yeah, Bandana D, right, guys? And then I eventually realized that they were serious.
nah, people really want him, and honestly, I just want another Kirby rep.
I think that would also fit along with Hades, because the thing is, you know, Kirby is Sakurai's baby, just like Kid Icarus Uprising. You know? So
Yeah.
if Sakurai wanted to throw in his OC at the end, he could do a Kirby rep. Who do you think it would be though? Like I don't think it would be Bandana D.
Nah, it's not enough. It's just like random Kirby enemy. The Bandana D is not enough.
Before the boss fights from the single player mode got revealed, I was expecting Marks to be a playable character.
Oh yeah.
Like that would have been a really good playable Kirby character, but they made him a boss. So
Yeah.
it can't be him. So I don't know, maybe that was Sakurai like accepting the fact that he wouldn't add another Kirby character, because if you were going to add another one, Marks would make total sense. Because he has a crazy moveset.
There's so much you can do with Marks.
Yeah, and they did do it for his boss moveset, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe DeRoach, that mouse from Squeak Squad. But
Roach? I think I know who that is.
they added him in the Star Allies that kept adding characters from other games. The thing is, though, like, he's only from Squeak Squad, unless you want to count him getting added in Star Allies, but Star Allies is kind of supposed to be a crossover game. So,
Yeah.
imagine if they add the snail from the Kirby anime
Oh my god.
as Cargoon. I would love that, but I know it's not happening because, you know, there is the rule that it has to be a character that debuted in a game.
Yeah.
As much as I would love the last one to be Goku.
Not happening.
But this is... I love seeing the mental gymnastics people do in defending the chances of Goku getting added. I'm not being sarcastic. Like, I actually am so impressed by the mental gymnastics the Goku fans take. I always hear like an excuse, like, or a caveat. It's like, but this is the final character that's getting added, so they could break the rule now and add Goku, because the worry is that, oh, if they broke the rule and added Goku before, that means after adding Goku, they could add more anime characters. But because it's the last one, if you were to just add Goku now, they would be safe from opening the floodgates for other anime characters.
I don't think Sakurai cares about Goku. I'm gonna be real.
I know. I respect the I respect how dedicated the fan base is, because people have been asking for Goku for so long. Like, they never flip-flop on that, you know?
The commitment's commendable, but it's not gonna happen, unfortunately. As funny as I think it would be, like, just to play Goku and beat up Mario, I think that'd be hilarious. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
If they were to do it again on the first party character thing, if they were to do a first party character and do like a weird, like, out of left field character like Duck Hunt or Mr. Game & Watch, and they did like an old retro character or something, do you think, could you think of anything that would be good for that?
Old retro characters? Oh,
Yeah.
you ever play Pokemon Gale of Darkness for the GameCube?
Are you talking about Dark Lugia?
Yeah, the main character from those games.
No. Literally, the only thing I know about those GameCube games is that there's Dark Lugia. That's where it came from.
There's Dark Lugia and Dark Pokemon, and you have to get the dark juice off them.
That would go into the worst case scenario of Pokemon character. I remember, like, there was some fake leak before. I think it was the Grinch leak, actually. Remember the Grinch leak?
The Grinch leak?
Yeah, so before Smash Ultimate released, there was a very, very believed leak called the Grinch leak. Not implying that the Grinch was going to be a character, but this this was presumably, I think it was in France, presumably a picture taken of key art for the game. Like, you know the big mural of all the characters, and each time a character gets added, they add it to that mural?
Mm-hmm.
It was, like, a poster of that, presumably with all the characters that would come with the base roster. Because this guy took a picture of it, and he was like, I think he was like, I think he actually did have the job, he said, but he was framing it as like, he was like, you know, shipping something or moving something, and he's not like super knowledgeable on the thing he's taking a picture of. That's how he was trying to frame it, right?
Yeah.
And it was like this blurry picture of the mural with all the different characters in it, right? What made what made people start taking the leak seriously, though, is that in the same picture, there was like a stand-up, like a cardboard stand-up. Is that what it's called? Stand-up? You know what I'm talking about, right? Like a cardboard...
cardboard cutout?
Yeah. A big cardboard cutout of, like, and it was a render of the Grinch from the CG Grinch movie. And
oh, God.
But the thing is, that render of the Grinch had never been shown off or revealed anywhere. But shortly after that fake leak got posted to the internet, like the next week or so, that Grinch render started showing up in like promotional material for the movie. And so people thought, okay, if he got a picture of that Grinch render early, and it turns out to be real, then that gives legitimacy to the Smash key art as well.
Oh.
And in this key art, people kind of picked out Excitebike.
Excitebike?
Yeah. And so many people thought Excitebike would be a character. That would be like this game's like weird retro character. Because it did look like it's Excitebike in there. And
that would be so crazy if it's Excitebike.
That was such a big brain leaker, though, because he thought, like, okay, I'll throw in... Like, that means he did get a hold of some Grinch cardboard cutout early. Mm-hmm. And he took advantage of that by throwing it in the background of his fake Smash leak. So, that's probably my favorite fake leak so far. Because I love bringing it up and seeing people's faces when they think that you're saying the Grinch was going to be in the game.
I would love Jim Carrey Grinch to be in the game. That would be so funny.
Sakurai acknowledges the Grinch leak and considers the Grinch as part of the Smash canon.
He's just a big Grinch fan. You finally got him in.
Okay, so I think that's all the first-party stuff I was going to talk about. So we already talked about Rayman, right? Rayman's been asked for a long time, and I think it would be good. And do we even have an Ubisoft rep yet?
There's a Assassin's Creed Me costume, but otherwise, no.
Okay. Yeah, but again, like, I know that'll make a lot of people happy, but I don't think it'll be a crowd pleaser type thing. Crash is one a lot of people have been wanting.
Yeah.
Do you think that one's likely?
I don't know how I feel about Crash. I love Crash. I grew up playing Crash Bandicoot, but like I don't know what he'd do exactly. I can only imagine
in terms of the moveset.
Yeah, I kind of imagine him spinning and maybe being like kind of a Mario type character where he's kind of just a brawler.
Like I know, like the thing is, I know the moveset would be the hardest part, but I think Sakurai can do it. And the thing is, I'm surprised Crash isn't in this game already because Mario, Crash, and Sonic are like were the three biggest like platformer mascots, right? Mm-hmm. Like you literally had commercials and stuff with Crash trash talking Mario, you know?
Oh yeah.
So it's like, how have they not been given a chance to actually kill each other in a game yet? I think now. I mean, obviously he'd have the spin, right? And then like his up special, he could like you know how Sonic's up special, he makes the spring appear underneath him, like Crash's up special.
Yeah, he jumps on the box.
A TNT crate could appear below him, and he bounces up, and then it like starts the timer where it detonates. So he could be like a setup or a trap character. So you could like set up the TNT crates and then like knock them into it. But I guess Minecraft Steve kind of has something like that. with the
Yeah,
TNT.
he already does that kind of.
Yeah, so like, yeah, I could see the moveset being the hardest thing. But like that weird Activision era, like after Activision acquired Crash, there's a lot of like weird stuff you could take for his moveset, like the masks from Crash of the Titans and Mind Over Mutant. Even though those games weren't the best, like that's still material you can draw from.
Yeah.
Dante, Crash, and Eggman were like my top 3 that I wanted and also was expecting. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really surprised. I thought I was pretty confident that at least one of those would get in, but at this point, I'm not so sure. So I'm kind of surprised that none of those are getting in.
I'm still kind of hoping for Nero, but like you said, why go for Nero when you could get Dante?
I think that would definitely like save that for if a new Marvel versus Capcom or like the next Capcom versus series comes out, right?
Yeah,
because like obviously they would keep Dante, and then the question would be like, oh, are they going to add Virgil? Because he was such a big part of MVC3.
Antagonist route, Virgil would be sick.
I don't know if they'd want to have an antagonist without the protagonist, though.
Yeah, that would be weird.
The thing is,
I'd still be down for it.
Yeah, me too. In the next Capcom Versus game, though, if that ever becomes a thing, like I think the big question would be how many DMC characters do they want to put in the base roster? Because you have Dante, who already has a moveset, Virgil, who already has a moveset, and he was such a big part, such an infamous part of MVC3. And no one cares about Spencer, right? So you could pretty much adopt Spencer's moveset into Nero's moveset, like with the breaker, the arm.
Yeah.
They already have Trish from MVC3 as well. But if you were to do 4 DMC characters, that would be like such a big portion of a base roster. I don't think they would do 4 in a Capcom Versus game. So then like I could see speculation in the future being like, oh, you know, which DMC character isn't going to get put in the roster. That's a different topic, though.
V from Devil May Cry 5. He's a puppet character.
The voice actor, I actually have a video on it. I'll put a card up now in the video if anybody wants to go see. The voice actor for V sort of like did a leak for Marvel vs. Capcom, but I personally at this point think he was just like fishing for attention. Because he said something along the lines of like, oh, the next Marvel vs. Capcom game is going to be so cool. Imagine V doing his moves like in a fighting game. And the reason why I found it kind of believable at the time is that companies do like intentionally like have employees and voice actors like leak stuff sometimes to gauge hype.
Mm-hmm.
At this point though, like seeing that was like his most popular tweet ever, like I'm wondering if he was just like doing it for attention. Because the voice actor for V is like strangely infatuated with his character V. He's always talking about how like cool V is and stuff. I'm glad voice actors are like invested in their characters, right? It's just kind of funny. It said Hades, it said Dixie Kong. Oh yeah, okay, while we're on Capcom, do you think any other Capcom characters might get added? Because Phoenix Wright and Monster Hunter are 2 like prime candidates for a fighting game. The thing is, Phoenix Wright and Monster Hunter were both already put in Marvel vs. Capcom, right?
Yeah, and Monster Hunter got made into a Mii costume.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. I don't know if there's I've only played like really Monster Hunter World. I'm not the biggest Monster Hunter fan, so I don't know if there's any other iconic characters.
Monster Hunter's the thing is, Monster Hunter has never really been about the characters. Like the monsters are the characters. So Rathalos being in the game is already like the big thing you could put in it. I still find it so strange that Rathalos is in the game, but not a playable Monster Hunter character. It's kind of cool though, right? Because you know the monsters are the main characters from Monster Hunter, and Rathalos is the flagship monster, really. Phoenix Wright, I think would be really cool. Don't they already... How many Capcom characters do they have in the game already? They have Ryu, they have Ken, they have Mega Man. Is that it? 3 is a lot, though, for a third party.
Pac-Man's Namco, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Then, yeah. 3.
So, like, on one hand, having more than 3 would be a lot for a third party... collab. However, Capcom has, like, the most... I would say Capcom... arguably, you could say Nintendo, but personally, I would say Capcom has the best IPs. Capcom's sitting on the best and most numerous IPs. You know? So, yeah, it would be crazy if Capcom got more than 3 characters in Smash, but Capcom has the best characters, honestly. Uh, but again, like, I don't know if Sakurai would want to do that, because then, like, he could either copy the moveset from Marvel vs. Capcom to an extent, and he doesn't like copying movesets, or he could make something else, but it's like, why wouldn't you use the basis from Marvel vs. Capcom, you know?
Yeah.
Said old retro character, I said Eggman, I said Crash, right? Okay, so I'm about to get on the last character I want to mention. I think this would be like a really, I don't know if a lot of people would care about it, but it would be a really big deal, and it would allow for another dream match, right? Because, like, the whole game is about dream matches, right? Like Mario versus Sonic, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember some people were talking about this leading up to Smash Ultimate, but the rhetoric for it kind of died down, and that's a Digimon rep.
Honestly, I don't think enough people know about Digimon.
I agree with you, but Digimon versus Pokemon is like one of the biggest dream matches I think you could think up. Like, after Mario versus Sonic, I think Digimon versus Pokemon is like the next big dream match.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
There's also another
Agumon?
character.
Is that the character's name? I forget.
I forgot the name too. That's beside the point.
Yeah.
Like, I remember renting some Digimon movie from Blockbuster when I was a kid and thinking like, whoa, this is so much cooler than Pokemon. They're in a computer.
Yeah.
The opening is cooler though.
The opening was sick.
Yeah. Like, I know the Pokemon opening somehow had more staying power and is probably more nostalgic, but just on a rule of cool factor, Digimon, I think, has a little bit of an edge.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would be another huge dream match, but like you said, I don't know if it's popular enough to be the last one. While talking about that, though, I noticed that I do have another character written on here. So that wasn't the last one, even though I was planning on that one to be the last one. Crash could... Even though Crash technically isn't a Sony IP, Crash would kind of fill the archetype of being a Sony rep, right? Even though he's not technically a Sony rep. If they actually did want to do... The thing is, they've already done a rep from Microsoft. That's Banjo-Kazooie and Minecraft Steve, right? Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony are the three big console players in modern day, right? So if they wanted to, like, tie that together and basically cross over all the console wars, they could get an actual Sony rep. Like an actual Sony rep, not Crash.
Like, I think there could be some really cool Sony reps, like Cole from Infamous.
I think it would be Kratos.
Kratos would be awesome.
What's funny is, like, you can just see all the characters from PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale. Like, you get Parappa. I don't think Parappa has enough popularity, though, in modern day.
If they release Parappa as the last character, everyone's going to be like, who?
Yeah. I think Parappa would fit the best and have, like, the most interesting moveset, but, like, it's just not going to have the recognizability as Kratos, because, you know, Kratos is still getting games.
Oh, yeah, and the last God of War game was huge.
Yeah. So that would be, and that's, like, as soon as you see Kratos, like, it's such a strong character design, you know, everybody recognizes, like, the red face paint. Mm-hmm. And he's still getting games, so it's still relevant, and you would immediately think Sony, right? Like PlayStation. Like, whoa, a PlayStation character's in Smash Bros. With Banjo-Kazooie and Minecraft Steve. So I think that would be more likely than someone like Master Chief, because they've already done the Microsoft collab twice, you know?
Yeah.
Sackboy is another, like, potential rep. The thing is, Sackboy's kind of weak as a mascot, if you ask me. Like, they tried... Sony kind of had, like, a mascot identity crisis for a while, because they kind of did Ape Escape for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then in, like, PS3, PSP era, they tried to do, like, Sackboy, but it didn't really take off. And now like, they tried to do, like, Nathan Drake from Uncharted. But, like, he just looks like a normal human. So, like, that's not going to have, like, a good mascot factor.
Nah, he's just a dude.
And now, lately, they're doing, like, Astrobot. But recently, Sony detached themselves completely from the Japan studio. So that was, like, the final declaration of them basically saying that they're no longer targeting a Japanese audience.
Okay.
So yeah, I think Kratos would have to be it. Like, what would Sackboy's moveset even be? I don't think Sakurai would give Sackboy the time of day.
In the game, he can slap. And I don't know much about it otherwise.
Kratos could have like the thing is Kratos could have the blades, you know, with the chains,
Yeah.
and like hit someone and like pull himself in, but he could also have the axe from the new one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that would be a really cool move set.
Could have a lot of cool weapons, and like God of War 3, he had like these big iron gauntlets.
I think they would.
Things with.
Yeah, I think they would go with with how his depiction is from the original God of War games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the newer one is a bit more photorealistic, right? Which doesn't really fit Smash's art style. And plus, I think the like the small beard, like the goatee, you know, he has more legacy with that design. Whereas as it stands right now, he's only had one game with like the full beard, you know. So plus, I mean, he is from Greek mythology. I mean, like he's not a real character, but like his original games were like placed in Greek mythology, right? And Sakurai loves paying homage to like the actual source material, so you'd have to like base him on like the Greek stuff and not the Norse stuff, even though he could have the axe. So yeah, if there is a Sony rep, my money's on Kratos. What were you saying?
The beard would be like might be like a costume, like an alt.
Yeah, they could do an alt like that. I just don't know how Smash would like render hair like that.
It wouldn't look good.
Yeah. What is like the most hair that Smash has rendered on any character? Like in terms of like facial hair, not like Sonic hair.
Well, like just like I don't think there's too many people with insane facial hair,
Snake,
but like
maybe.
Look at who?
Snake, but that's just like stubble. It's not like actually rendering.
Yeah.
Like that's just like a texture. It's not like actual 3D model.
But like look at like Shulk's hair in game, and then like but compare like Shulk and Donkey Kong's hair in game versus their like splash art, and it's like, ew.
Well, yeah, but
they
even
do not
so, like
hair.
The thing is, Donkey Kong's hair and like super anime hair like Shulk is much easier to like sculpt, right? In a sort of like a comic looking art style, right? Because it's like it has a strong silhouette. You know, Donkey Kong's ice cream swirl, his Jimmy Neutron do, and Shulk has a pretty strong, despite him just being like a regular human, I would say he has a pretty strong silhouette. Most of his character design is part of the Monado though, but you get my point.
Yeah.
Like Kratos' beard wouldn't really help character, it wouldn't help silhouetting, right? From a distance, like with the camera pulled back in a fighting game, the beard is not going to show up as a silhouette, and that's something you have to think about in terms of fighting game character design.
Yeah, it would just look odd.
Yeah. Plus, like, if you were holding the blades from, like, God of War, from the original God of War, you could be, like, hunched over a bit, which I think would give him a much stronger silhouette than if you were just, like, sitting upright with the axe. That would look dumb.
Yeah.
I think that's all the things I had written down. Is there any other character you feel like mentioning?
There was one I forgot to talk about, and the definitely won't happen.
And that is?
Kiryu from Yakuza.
I would agree with you, but the guy that made Kiryu, the guy that made Yakuza, has actually specifically said the reason Kiryu isn't in a fighting game yet is because he does not want to see Kazuma Never Killed a Man Kiryu punch women.
You know what? That makes sense.
And hearing that reason, it's like, you know what? This guy, he created the character, right? He should have the right to say, like, what the character would and wouldn't do. But you could always just say, add Majima instead. Majima would be more crazy anyway.
Majima would be cool,
Yeah, and he would be more crazy than Kazuma anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I just want to whip out a bicycle and beat Pikachu over the head with it, honestly.
That I wouldn't count that one out though. Like you're saying it would never happen. Like I agree Cosmo would never happen, but Majima maybe? Or
Majima, yeah.
Or the new guy, Ichiban from 7. That would be a more like of a promotional thing.
Oh, if they put him in, I'd actually that'd be so cool actually.
I'm not going to count them out completely.
Nah. They did give Kazuya Kiryu's colors, though. Like, they gave him a skin where he has, like, really? A white suit with, like, a...
Yeah, they could do that in Smash, then.
So it's, like, a kind of reference, but it might not be intentional. But still, it's neat. Like,
yeah.
Like, hey.
Anything else? Like, I know I'm going to think of something as soon as I hit stop recording.
Solaire from Dark Souls. He ain't getting in, but if he does, I'll lose my mind.
There is a Solaire amiibo.
I know. That's why I got my hopes up at the beginning, like, because I was like, oh, they got an amiibo for him. This is just easy marketing.
What?
And,
what's hilarious is that the Solaire amiibo... Okay, the Solaire amiibo was supposed to release at the same time as the Dark Souls port to Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But the Dark Souls port to Switch got delayed, but the amiibo didn't. So there was a period of time where there was a Solaire amiibo for no reason.
Just there.
Because there was a time, because like the Dark Souls port got delayed a lot. And so there was just a Dark Souls amiibo for a console that doesn't have a Dark Souls game. That was so weird. And now it's like one of the most expensive amiibos ever. I wouldn't count him out. That would be a crowd pleaser. That would make everyone freak out.
I would. I'm a huge Dark Souls fan. I love all the games. I've got multiple, like, hundreds of hours in them. So if they did, I'd go crazy. But I don't know. I for some reason, I just can't see it. Like,
Bandai Namco did make the game.
Mm-hmm.
Although we just got Kazuya, which was a Bamco rep. So they probably wouldn't do 2 Bamco in a row.
Yeah.
It's not a 0% chance, though. I think Solaire's more likely than Doom Guy, and is more likely than Mortal Kombat, and is more likely than Sora.
It's non-zero, but I still don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, me neither. The thing is, there are so many, like, possible things that could happen. Like, I don't feel confident about any one in particular, but, like, one of these. No. Like, I feel confident that it has to be, like, one of these, right? Just in terms of a plurality.
Unless it's something, like, so far out of left field, no one sees it. Yeah, just
something that's 100% unexpected, like when Piranha Plant got added. The thing is, Piranha Plant was so unexpected at the time, but now it would have to be something other than just a random Mario enemy, right?
What if they did it with, Roy, back in Melee, when he was added to Melee, Roy didn't have a game.
Well, he did, just not in the United States.
Just not in the United States, yeah. But what if they did that? Just added some character to some, like, IP that isn't out yet?
What is some Japan-only IP? I don't think there's much left that they could do for that. So yeah, it would have to be something that's just not out yet.
I almost said Mother 3, but then I realized Lucas is in there. Pain. I want Mother 3 in America so bad. I can't really think of too many Japan-only games.
I love how Reggie's like able to talk about Mother 3 now that he doesn't work at Nintendo.
Yeah. He posted something on Twitter about loving Mother 3, and everyone was like, oh my god, come on, man.
Yeah, it would have to be, like, the thing is, like, the world is a lot more globalized now, and there aren't really many, like, Japan-only IPs that would work. So, like, it would have to be, if they were to pull something off like that again, it would have to be something that isn't out yet, right? Like Elden Ring or something.
If they put an Elden Ring character in, that would be so shocking.
It's the Elden Ring. It just floats around and rolls.
Just a ring. Touch it, you die.
I guess that's it for now. Obviously, like, this video will age terribly or really well. And
hopefully it ages really well.
And like, the thing is, there's still a while before it comes out, so there might be some kind of, like, big leak in between now and then, right? And then we might have to, like, make a new video or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyways, everyone, I will put, again, like I said, I'll put the links to Face Guy's YouTube and Twitch and whatnot in the description. His videos are way more edited than mine. He actually puts, like, way more effort into editing his videos, and he's actually funny compared to me. So make sure you check that out. And anything else you want to say, or any other kind of plugs you want to advertise before I wrap it up?
No, that's all. Thanks for having me. I really like doing this. It was a lot of fun.
Yep. Thanks for coming on. And for everyone watching, let us know what you thought in the comments. And bye for now.
See ya.